Greetings.
Greetings.
My name is Stella B, and this is
Natnai, the Lyrical Alchemist.
Welcome to the Out of Noise podcast, the show when we bring our peace
to the mic.
And we welcome you back frequently to tune into our frequency.
So as you are aware, this is our freak Quincy. I took that from Stella. I did take that from Stella.
He stole my line.
I did.
He deleted it just so he could say it.
I did. It was worth it.
Yeah. So as you are aware, though, we are doing a series which is connected to our live event, which is coming up on the 20th of February. And we are exploring sex and intimacy through a series of podcasts on our podcast show, Out of Noise. So these special series, we encourage you to tune in and let's talk about the taboo. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about all the things that we don't normally talk about for a healthier society that does not shame, that does not judge, and learns, communicates, because communication is key to, a healthy society. We've been trained to look at sex in a very Western lens, and two, in a very kind of commodified way through the package of Hollywood films, porn, a series of things that just disconnect communication and being actually learning from one another and being really truthful and honest. I was liking one of the clips you showed me earlier. We were looking at the talented and gifted artist called Jill Scott interview with Angie Martinez, and it was really interesting to hear her in this clip just being very honest, but she's always been that way, quite open about her sexuality. She doesn't really explicitly say stuff either, but she is explicit. She's very candid and explicit without being. It's a perfect blend that she has. It's all throughout her music from day, but also in her honesty in interviews as such. So we were tuned into that clip that you sent earlier, where she was basically saying it's just her mission or her dream is that people will be outside of these little tiny boxes that they're placed in when it comes to these kind of things. And again, she's alluding to the stuff. She even mentions the name of a famous porn star who she dreams of being like, or she, that was
inspired by.
She was inspired
by her.
So, and this is where we're at as well. We're really in this kind of place of freeing up ourselves. We've been together for 12 years nearly. This September will be 12 years. And things get tough in a relationship in terms of the bedroom antics, or, sustaining what is called spontaneous against responsive.
Yeah. So the two types of desire. It's the poetry is going to be amazing. Stella's written some amazing poetry. I've written some amazing poetry, and when it comes together, and we feel this conversation is very, very key. It's very important. We are known as a Pan-African power couple, and a lot of the community will see the public side of us, and we're very much power to the people. And in fact, Stella's the one who really brought this to like the fore of my mind. But when you think about the ones that we champion for, in terms of the bastions of society and those who sacrificed their lives to make this world a better place, we put them in this rarefied pedestal of being asexual. And why is that? Why do we do that? And so this conversation, this exploration that we're on as a power couple might seem strange or off-brand for a couple that is basically on this thing as freedom fighters, right? But it's all one and the same thing. We are here as a result of sacred energy exchange. Like, without that, we're not here. None of us human beings exist without it. So in fixing that and in fixing the bonds and the relationships is key to actually liberating this world. And so understanding what happens in the relationship as well is key over a long period of time when you're dedicated to each other, or you're giving yourself to each other, you're giving yourself to your one, essentially. We feel that a lot of relationships have issues because of a lack of understanding and a lack of communication, and because of external pressures. And if you solve those things, then you can have a thriving, beautiful, harmonious, or a relationship that can withstand. Like every relationship goes through tough times, but relationships that can withstand tough times, and just actually those tough times just make your bond even stronger. Everything, the positive and the negative, makes it stronger just because of your means of communication and your understanding and your commitment to each other. So this exploration is for ourselves as well as it is for you, because we are artists, and as artists we share our light. So we are the vessels for the upliftment and enlightening of the people, and the healing as well. So knowing the difference between, like, there's generalizations, right? Generalizations between men and women, but also within that you can get to know yourself. So anything that we say in terms of, in general, men are like this, women are like this, we're talking in generals. Like, there's obviously crosses over. That's just the way it is. Like, some things might be applicable to you as a man, that some things might be applicable to you as a woman. Like, it just, whatever is relevant to you in it. But understanding this, the journeys is very good. So even recently, I think it was last year, I think it was last year or a couple of years ago, like, I learned about the fact that men have cycles too. So we're very aware of women having cycles in terms of the monthly cycle and the different stages. And even that needs further education, because apart from knowing that your period is coming, when did you know about the different cycles? When did you learn about that?
Yeah, maybe about 3 years ago that I learned about that, but also that we're on a different rhythm to the circadian rhythm as well. Week by week, we have a different kind of energy that we're producing. So currently, I'm in my luteal phase, and my period is about to come. So I am very emotional, very teary, and stuff like that. And men go through that on a tighter,
on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. That from a man's perspective, we're not really we don't really learn how to deal with and express our emotions. And then to know that actually you go through shifts in emotion in a single day, it's very interesting to know that, and energy as well. And the complexity is in that, like, for me as an artist, and very recently I've noticed that actually my energy seems to pick up during the night. I don't know why. Like, it just seems to do, like, in terms of actually getting things done, my artistic expression, all of that kind of stuff, it seems to really just pick up at the night. Like, and I know with certain artists that's the case. Like, I heard that Kendrick Lamar, for example, he works throughout the night. So this, yeah, and then you have melanin as well, and that's, like, there's all different kinds of factors. Very, very interesting. Anyway, you have spontaneous desire and responsive desire. Apparently 85% of women have responsive desire, and I can't remember the percentage, but basically the majority, like, I don't know, 90 something percent of men have spontaneous desire. That means men, it doesn't take us much to get aroused. And for women, the arousal can take a lot longer. You need a lot more different factors for that to happen. In the beginning stages of relationships, though, in the honeymoon phase, you both operate in the spontaneous desire. You both have that energy where you're just exploring each other, and the excitement, and everything else in life is not as it's just not as important. Like, that beginning stage is just, you're each other's everything, right? But then once you've gone beyond that stage, you've gone beyond the honeymoon stage, or the summer, the season of summer, and you shifted into autumn, and then you shift into winter, the dynamic has shifted now. And so whereas the man can still have, in general, can still have spontaneous desire, so it doesn't take much to be aroused. In the responsive desire, you need more for the woman for arousal to take place. So in the irony is, in spontaneous desire time in a honeymoon period, the things like work stresses, all of this different types of stuff that might happen is less important because the fire is just hot. Now, in a different time, those things will become more important. They will take precedence over your sexual relationship with each other. And this is what a lot of long-term relationships, the challenges they have to go through, marriages, they have to go through these challenges. Now, understanding there's a responsive desire in the woman, there's things that you can do, that you both can do, knowing that her body literally, so there's a separation. Well, no, let me just use that word. Her body takes time to arouse. So there's certain things like setting up the house, you have to be more conscious of, and you have to be more conscious of prioritizing your sex life. And you have to ensure that you're actually scheduling for this to happen. And then you have to make sure you have the things that is going to make it happen, right? So making more of an effort in general, but also this like finding out what you like as a woman, and then as a man finding out what your woman likes. That could be learning each other's love languages and really, really playing into the love languages, and just setting up things that keep the place all spicy and stuff like that.
You mean like in the bedroom, setting up the bedroom to be like an environment for lovemaking? Like, what are the specifics?
Yeah, in a bedroom, but also you have to make it into a lifestyle. So you can't just expect, like, even setting up the bedroom, like, obviously, you could have candles, incense burning, like fluffied up pillows and just the wear as well, robes and stuff like that, that is ready for you after a bubble bath or salt relaxing bath or and scented bath and all of that stuff. You can have that scenario, dimmed lights, sensual music, all of these different things are setting up in the bedroom. But even that may not be enough if the whole day has been a day of stress. So if you're working and you're stressed out or whatnot, to shift from that mode to that mode could be a big leap for those with responsive desire. Whereas spontaneous desire, that might not be such a big leap at all. But even if you set up, so your whole day really should be catered around that, rather than that being an afterthought and then it coming to you and it's like, oh, it feels like a chore, even presented like that. So what could happen is you could have it all presented in that fashion and you just want to go to sleep. That could literally just be the case.
I think for me, I always bring up the thing about healing being a big part of sexual connection, because when you're at your fittest, when you feel like you're most healthy, you're more likely to have your sacral be more open. Like when you have a workout and your libido is like, based on the endorphins that are released and all that kind of feeling, you're more likely to want to have sex. Also, as you work out more, you use up more testosterone even as a woman, so you're connecting more to that aspect of having sex more. So healing is very key. I believe the fitter you are, the more that you're more likely to be wanting. So that tiredness as well isn't such a problem, because I feel like most of us, the longer we're kind of in relationships, we don't, as you mentioned, we were talking about this earlier, we don't really prioritize our sexual needs. It's like the secondary thing. It's probably way worse with when you have children. And this is assumptions, because, every couple is completely different. So you will get people that are rampant rabbits all the way through from alpha omega. They're doing it all the time. that's fine. But
just talking in
general, it does wane, and there has to be like a conscious effort to, like Nat saying, to actually bring create an environment where, in terms of my responsive desire, I'm always confident and more than comfortable. I'm soothed by my environment. Things always smell like heaven to me. Like around me is just like I am in a bubble of just joy, and like it's just, I think being in a relaxed state for me is just the most important thing to make me more open more often. And as you brought in the cycle of me as well, understanding that there'll be different ways that that stimulus can come about during those time of the months as well. And same with me recognizing that for you as a man in terms of the daily cycle. But as you said, it's not so hard. It's not so hard when it comes to bringing back that that desire from a man. But
in general,
but for women, yeah, it can be really, especially if you're going through pain or any issues like that, or any of those factors can really, I know from personal experience that those are the things that can interrupt me wanting to open up, and I have to like really, and you know, Nat is great with things like massages and taking the time and the sweet energy of like love making. Like love making is everything, as we talked about in the last episode. It's foreplay, it's the, you know, it's the preparation, it's the thought behind everything. It's maybe running a bath and setting the candles up, and this is all sounds so typical, but it really is effective, and it really does relax the woman. It just really does open her up. Like, and if your intention is really, it's not like I'm going to fuck her tonight, I'm gonna, it's more like I just want to love on this person, and the opposite way as well. I just want to love on this person. That is going to be felt by your partner. You're just going to know that this is the effort that you've put in because you just want to love on me, and I'm open to you now. Like I just want to receive all of you as we, you know, as we as we connect further in the space of love.
Yes, exactly. Just having, you have to work on really prioritizing it. Like you really do. That's the difference. Whereas before it was more automatic. This is for both. So even as men, we do have spontaneous desire, but when you look at the nuance of it, as a man, your energy does shift. And it does. I guess you can have more of an expectation of your partner. Both of you can have more expectation of your partner to just do stuff, right? Or just to be that way for each other without making as much effort as you would in the beginning. So the different things that you would do to woo your partner in the beginning, the energy to do that wanes over time. So you have to be very, very conscious of that and really work hard on those efforts, especially when like life is really stressing you out, and then you have the tendency to put that on your partner as well, and you have to really work on your emotional self. You have to work on your emotional self to be able to override how your emotions are, and essentially basically love on your partner. What Stella's saying is absolutely correct. So if you're feeling stressed and all that kind of stuff, you really do have to work on prioritizing loving on your partner, and then everything flows. So I'm loving on my partner as a priority, and then as a result, it will become like feeding into each other. You're feeding into your sex life because you're loving on each other, and it all
works out. It all spirals upwards. That's in my poetry. But yeah, also as you just talked about it, novelty and like introducing new things. So a lot of couples get to a certain stage of their relationship, they may explore kind of worlds of like play parties. Oh my gosh, that was like choink. There's a lot of couples that get to a certain maturity and then they want to start exploring this, and it may be that they're thinking more openly about their relationship on a Jada Pinkett and a Will Smith flex. Yeah. Real talk. But the fact is that in these environments, there are many other couples or many other people who are thinking in the same way. They're looking for novelty, they're looking for playtime, they're looking for ways that they can express their inner world outwardly. And I feel like a lot of people would be at these parties on the periphery. They just want to be like in a space where they can openly explore these things. And this is not necessarily take part in these things, but it's like they're reintroducing an energy back into their partnership. You know, we've seen loads of films depict this kind of idea, like they put in comedies a lot. People want a marriage to last, but they also have been affected by the spontaneous and the responsive desire kind of conundrum happening within the relationship, where spontaneous has now gone and responsive is the winner, and therefore sex is no longer prioritized, and it affects the relationship, because sex is a very key part of relationships. As we talk about sacred energy exchange, we believe that sex is something that can evoke a lot of power, not only within your relationship, but within everything you're trying to manifest in the world. And so that's why we're really looking and exploring at this. So novelty is a key factor in that is why a lot of relationships at a certain stage will explore these kind of spaces where they can address certain kinks they may be thinking of, or like I said, find like-minded people, you know, get a bit of their ego touched as well. Let's be real. Like, I think a lot of things to do with that too, with desire and feeling desired and feeling desirable as you get older. As a woman anyway, I can speak from my perspective. As you get older, you're more conscious about certain parts of your anatomy, your features changing, and how your attraction to your partner, but also the world, like how do people view you, is very like important. It feels important. It shouldn't be, because as well, for me personally, I'm not trying to be hyper focused on, she says, we're trying to makeup on it. I'm not trying to be focused on looks alone. I've never been that way. But as I've gotten more mature, as I've gotten younger, in my younger age, because I'm trying not to call myself old, but it has been more in the forefront of my mind. Like, do men still?
I still got it.
Have I still got it?
She still got it. Okay, she still has it. Timeless.
Yeah.
Timeless beauty.
I give thanks. My mom's got great genetics, and my dad. So I give thanks and thank you.